Good morning. Today we are continuing on with our inequalities. This time we're combining what we learned in our last unit, combining with what we know about inequalities. You are going to see this objective will really help with some of our Khan Academy. I told us earlier that it had to do with those one-step operations. We are solving inequalities with addition or subtraction, doing those one steps. So if we look at, oh, of course it's not going to work for me. We have to get the pen over here real quick. Let me try it again. Why is it not working? Nothing is ever easy. Let's try this again. Maybe it'll work now. Alright. Okay. This should work. There we go. Okay, so what we have at the top is those one-step operations that we did last unit. Remember, we did opposite operations to get the variable by itself. So in order to move that constant, that number, over to the other side, we do the opposite operation. So look at n plus 6. What was the opposite operation that we have to do? What's the opposite of plus 6, Rhoda?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. So we subtract 6 from both sides, and we're left with n equals 19 minus 6, which is 13. Then we have n plus 12. What's the opposite that we need to do? Michael?
Subtraction.
Subtract 12 from both sides. 12 minus 12 zeros out. We have n equals 20 minus 12, which is 8. Then we have n minus 5 equals 7. What's the opposite operation we have to do? Benny?
Addition.
Yeah, instead of subtracting 5, we need to add 5 to both sides. That zeroes out. So we have n equals 7 plus 5, which is 12. Now we have n minus 21 equals 40. What's the opposite operation we have to do? Fernanda?
Addition.
Yeah, we have to add 21 to both sides. Negative 21 plus 21 zeros out. So we have n equals 40 plus 21, which is 61. So that's just a refresher of those opposite operations. Now we're going to come down. We're going to do the same thing, even though there's an equal sign, and not an equal sign, there's an inequality symbol. We still do the same thing. So let me scroll up so we can see what that means. So the difference between solving an inequality and solving an equation. There is a difference. Instead of getting the variable by itself and calling it a day, you need to graph your solution on the number line. So when we did it the last unit, you just solved for your variable, n equals 5, bam, done. But now we say n is less than or equal to 5, we have to graph it. So what we did in yesterday's objective. Okay, so we just keep adding on steps that we're doing. So we're going to do our opposite operations like we did last unit, and then we're going to graph it like we did yesterday. So we have n plus 8 is less than 17. What's my opposite operation I have to do? Michael? Yeah. Instead of adding 8, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. 8 minus 8 zeroes out. My symbol stays the same. 17 minus 8 is 9. I'm not done. Now I have to graph it. Remember, we have 3 steps for graphing. What's my first step? Think about what we did yesterday. What was the first step, Fernanda?
You write it on a number line.
We put that 9 on a number line. Second step. What's the second thing we do? Matt?
Make an open circle.
Yeah, we have to do our circle. And Matt said it's going to be an open circle because there's no equal underneath that less than. Third step. What do I do? I've got my number line, I've got my circle. Jackson?
Probably draw the line of which way did you write
Yeah, I
it?
have to put my arrow. Which way should I put my arrow, Jackson?
What?
I'm going to go to the left because n is less than 9, so that's all the numbers that are smaller than 9. Rhoda?
Can I go straight?
Yes. Next time you can just go if it's orchestra band. You have to go too. So, for the first two, they give us the inequality statement. That last one, what do you think is the first thing we have to do? The sum of a number and 9 is greater than 19. What do you think we have to do with that? We can't solve it yet. What do we have to do before we can solve it? Jackson?
Opposite operation.
What do we have to do before we can do opposite operations? There's just a bunch of words. What do I have to do with all of those words, Jack?
You gotta like turn it into an equation.
Yeah, I have to write the inequality statement. So we did that 2 objectives ago, right? So remember, we're looking for those verbal phrases. Sum means we're adding. So I know I'm going to be adding a number and 9. And then when it says greater than, I have to think which symbol is the greater than symbol. And then 19. So you have to use those verbal phrases to write your inequality statement. Now I can do my opposite operations. So n plus 9 was the opposite. What's the opposite of n plus 9? Joy? Yeah, I have to subtract 9 from both sides. 9 minus 9 zeros out. So I get n, same inequality, greater than. 19 minus 9 is 10. Am I done?
No.
What do I have to do now? Matt? I have to do my graphing. And Matt is right. When I graph, I start out with my number line. And I put my 10 on the number line. What's the second step? Matt? I have to do my circle, and Matt is correct. It is an open circle because there's no equal underneath that greater than. What's my last step? Vinny?
Make your arrow.
Which way am I going to draw my arrow, Vinny?
Right.
I'm going to go to the right because I want all the numbers that are greater than 10, bigger than 10 on the number line. Any questions on how to do that? On our second page, it's more of the same. This first page, you're working through those one-step operations and graphing it. Second page, it's the exact same thing. Solve the inequality, graph your solution, show your work, show that opposite operations that you're doing. At the very bottom, it gives us the graph, and we have to write the inequality statement. So let's look at this first one. Who thinks they know what that inequality statement would look like looking at the graph that's given to us? So think about what we know. Our first step was writing the number line with that main number. So look at where that circle is above. That 2 is what is going to be on the right side of our inequality statement. What symbol am I going to put before that? Look at this. There is a closed circle. So I know there's going to be that equal sign. My arrow is pointing to the left. So I want all those numbers less than 2. So n is less than or equal to 2. But now I'm going to look at my directions. I need to have an inequality statement using addition or subtraction that's going to be n is less than or equal to 2. So think to yourself, if n is a number smaller than 2, what inequality statement could I put that would get 2 for that answer over there? Adding or subtracting. So how could I write that? I'm not going to put 2 down here, because when I solve it, it's going to equal 2. Do you have an idea, Michael?
1 plus 1.
So 1 plus 1 would equal 2, right? So how would I write that going opposite? So instead of 1 plus 1, because I know 1 plus 1 is 2, I put a 1 over here. If I want to do opposite operations with plus 1, what would be on this side? What's the opposite of plus 1? Minus 1. So if I said n minus 1 is less than or equal to 1, when I solve that with my opposite operations, I get n is less than or equal to 2. See how we worked it backwards? You're going to try to do it with the other inequality statement. Try to work it backwards and see if you can come up with something that works. It's a challenge. So challenge yourself. Really try to come up working backwards, see if we can make it work, and then we'll check it tomorrow and see how you did. So you have to finish that first page, and the second page is more of the same. Do opposite operations, then graph it. Any questions? Okay, we've got about 5 minutes of work time. We will probably have homework. Make sure you do your homework tonight. Okay, I don't want any more missing. People saying, oh, forgot to finish the work, right? So make sure you get this done tonight. Remember tomorrow, you got Khan Academy due tonight. Math packet, if you turn it in to me by tomorrow, you'll be able to make corrections on it. Make sure you come and ask me if you have any questions or want to check your work. We want to make sure we're doing our work correctly. If you are watching this at home, I hope you are well, and I hope to see you soon. Have a wonderful day.